Alright, so a lot of people think that TikTok is a bunch of these goofy people doing stupid things on there, or girls twerking their ass, showing more than they have to. But there's actually some good TikToks. For example, let me show you this one. If you're in right now, it's summer, so a lot of people are trying to look fit, look good. Let me show you this video by John Mango on TikTok, and he shows you how to go from lean, lose a lot of weight, from all that fatness that you had. I know that's helped me so far, and just know you're not going to miss this. We're going to take it step by step in these short videos and see what we can collect from all these. So let's get into it. How to cut and get as lean as you want. Alright, let's listen up. It's the master at this.
This is everything you need to know about how to cut so you can get as ripped as you want while building and retaining muscle, losing as much fat as you want so you can get lean once and never get fat again.
That's exactly what I was looking for a really, really long time. I was super freaking fat. And I'll be honest with you guys, it took so long to figure all these little things out, but it's going to be easy from here on out.
Manage diet fatigue, adjust things along the way, and all the rest so you never plateau. You're going to start with nutrition, okay? This assumes you already know water and sleep are important. I'm not going to cover that here.
See, that's perfect. We just want the fine, easy details. Because in water and nutrition, people can tell you that anywhere. And then specifically those things, there's a lot that goes into it. And this is just, alright, you want the information, here it is, on a plate, boom.
You're going to find your maintenance calories by either tracking your food currently every day or by going online, typing in TDEE calculator, and get a rough estimate as to your maintenance calories.
You know, that rough estimate thing, it's tough. Because it's very rough for me. Because depending on what height you are, and age and all that, it can tell you, oh, you should be eating like 2,300 or 2,800. And then in reality, you should be eating at 2,000 flat or 2,200. It's a very rough estimate. So I would definitely take it, the way I would calculate it is, whatever they give you, 200 less. And then from that is typically what you should be eating. Unless you're doing a surplus, and he'll get into that.
Slash it by 20 to 30%, that's your starting point. Of course, we need a deficit to create fat loss over time. Now, for protein, we can set it once and forget it for a long period of time if we set it correctly. Generally speaking, 1 gram per pound of your ideal body weight.
Ideal body weight. So for me, 180. My ideal body weight would be 200, so I'd have to take 200 grams of protein a day. But that's the thing that sucks, because not only is protein it's good for you, and has a lot of sugar, a lot of these cheaper brands. So if you're not here getting amazing type of ingredients in your protein, and also protein can get you really, satiated, sure, but you must have a lot of vegetables with it. You need a lot of fiber, because it can make you constipated. Because, I'll be honest, it's happened to me. Get the fiber in.
Future, which is what your body weight will be with some more muscle on your frame at around 10% body fat as a man, or around 20% as a woman. For instance, set it at 1 gram per pound of that, and just leave it there for a long fucking time. Next.
Exactly. Don't even after you have your set, whatever it is, whatever you set it there, you have to, have to kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. Just always remember that. Make it as easy as you can, because then it'll be easier to get through.
20 to 30% of your calories will come from fats, generally speaking. At the beginning of the cut, since you have more calories to start with, you can be a little bit closer to 30% of that being in fats. And then as we make cuts over time, which you'll have to do to keep getting leaner while retaining and building muscle because you're getting enough protein and training properly, which we'll cover.
Exactly. Train hard, and then, the whole train hard, work harder. Work harder part is the nutrition part, which is, it's a tough one, because if you're fat, you probably have, this could be a lot of things, the reason why you're fat. So if you could find it, for example, if you eat a lot because it's something in your head, it's like a psychological thing, that's definitely, I'd say 70% of people in the world. You probably have taught yourself through bad habits in life, or things you didn't even, first you don't even know, so you can't really blame yourself. But the moment you figure out, oh, I do this because my life's not so good, or because there's no other food in the house, or once we can start figuring that out, you can really squash it.
Then that might go down slightly closer to 20% of fats. Next, carbs. Carbs are going to fill in the remaining calories that are not taken up by the protein and fats. By the way, if any of this throughout this is overwhelming, click the link in my bio, okay?
There it is. You already know it, guys. 30% of it's fats, 20%, 20 to 30% is fats, and the rest is just carbs. So when people say, oh, don't eat junk food at all because that's the thing that's going to make you or keep you fat, you have to be honest with yourself. That's the things that taste good, what makes you happy in life. A little bit a day is not going to make you lose all that muscle or gain all that fat back. Let's just be honest. There's so much food, and if you eat the right ones, you may not want to eat the junk food, to be honest with you, because you're so full. But that's very unlikely. Just trust me. Listen to this guy. 20 or 30% fats, carbs, the rest, protein. Try to get as close to this, because I know I was in a very similar situation. I think a lot of times you don't have that. Some of us are a little not as wealthy or on the poor side. So you really can't get exactly that, but try to get as close as you can. Don't give up just because this is ideal. It's okay if you're at least 70 to 80% some of these things. Maybe not the 200% or 200 protein right now, but as you're developing, you should gain more protein. So maybe maybe you don't have that much protein in your life and you only have like 50 grams per day. That's okay. Start with whatever you have. It's about starting. All right, back to it.
Now, what your goal is with the nutrition here is 0.5 to 1% of your body weight lost weekly. If you weigh 200 pounds at the start of your cut, what this translates to is 1 to 2 pounds, 0.5%, that's 1 pound to 2 pounds of body weight loss per week, which means this scales up or down depending on how heavy you start and how far you have to go. So this is the ideal rate of loss to achieve. So yes, if you're out there, you're like, I gotta lose 20 pounds, can I do it in 3 weeks? You can.
Yeah. If you do a lot, you might get stretch marks or something you might not want. It's gonna mess up your mind. It's gonna mess up a lot of things, and especially if you don't have someone like this guy to coach you through it, it's gonna be very difficult. Or you have really good genes, in which case it's gonna be easy for you either way. But try to keep it to 0.5, like you said, or 1 pound per week, because you don't want to be in an aggressive cut forever. You want to keep this, or you don't want to be so scared that you want to get there so fast you mess up your mentality, your body, everything.
But you don't fucking want to. And if you don't trust me, you can feel free to come back to this video and comment after you learn the hard way. Okay, go at a slow, steady rate if the goal is maximum muscle growth and retention. Yes, you can go a little bit faster than this if you're a little bit better, or you've got a better tolerance of hunger, or a few other things. But generally speaking, this is a good place to aim for steady progress. 80% or more of your nutrition should come from nutrient-dense foods, and ideally, as the deficit continues, that will get closer to 90% nutrient-dense foods.
Yeah, good. Yeah, start where you are, man. Start wherever you are. This is just ideal. You should be getting to this point, 80%. But let's say you're at 50%, 40%. Start there. Get better throughout the years or the weeks, and you might get there without being this close. Maybe you're like, oh, I'll never get there because I'm like half at whatever he says you should be consuming. Sure, but just start it, and who knows, you might surprise yourself how different you look.
100% is probably not practical, to be fair. Meal timing and eating window, so understand these along the way. You might be eating across a 12-hour eating window at the start of your cut. As calories go down, you may want to experiment with shorter eating windows, okay? People like to call this intermittent fasting.
I did that for a long time. It does work. Don't eat from the moment you sleep all the way to, I think it's like, for me it was from 8 till 10 a.m., something like that. All that intermittent fasting, you cannot eat 8 p.m. to 6 to 10 a.m. That was my window of not eating. Everything else, fair game, count your calories, the whole bit.
Okay, that's really just a fancy marketing term. The point here, and I'll get to that in a second, the point here is play around with your eating window as calories go down, as it might help you reduce hunger. Okay, if you can have a shorter eating window to eat the same amount of calories in, you'll probably feel more full depending on the composition of the food and so forth. And meal timing as well. So doing your best to hopefully not train fasted, as it's probably not the most ideal.
Exactly, because then you need energy to lift weights, you need energy to run. The max energy you can have is the best ideal place. Because eat a couple of gushers and bam, hit the gym, start lifting crazy, become Incredible Hulk. You got this one. Don't be hard on yourself.
Cutting, but if you have to, then timing meals so that you're getting enough nutrition in shortly after those training sessions to make the most out of them, etc. Now, this is an important one, so stick with me here. No diets with names.
Exactly. No diets. None of those with names. Yeah, I feel like they really mess up people's lives because it becomes too complicated. Just keep it stupid.
So you're not like, okay, I want to get lean. I'm jumping on the carnivore diet. That would be very dumb. That would be very low IQ behavior. All right. I'm going to jump on keto. Okay. Low IQ behavior. I'm going to jump on intermittent fasting with carnivore diet and keto. I guess carnivore is kind of keto. Whatever. Ditch the fucking names. All right. If you're in the
Exactly. Ditch the names, man. It's it's all just just for the looks, just for being popular. It may or may not work for you. Just keep it to what this guy's saying. This is the only video truly you need. This can work. This works.
build a better physique, and you're not just in this for, well, I watched a TikTok one time, and this guy was sound very charismatic, and he convinced me that the carnivore diet is great. You're on the wrong channel, right? You want to build a better physique? It's a lifestyle. This is a lifestyle that
Yeah,
you
sure.
just alternate and modify according to your current goal, which will change over time as you progress towards a better physique. No diets with me.
No diets, man. Yes, they're complete shit. That is facts. They're gonna mess you up. Keep it simple, make it attractive. If you read the Atomic Habits, you know this already. That's how you get things done.
Ditch that shit. That's for weight loss channels, okay? And people that want to sell you some fucking, I don't know, teas, like fit teas or some shit.
Alright, so that's part one. Join me tomorrow for part two. We're gonna go over the training part. There's so much more that we can learn. Alright, peace. Comment down what you learned in this video.